Ladies and gentlemen, when a man gives you a hug, there's a lot more to it than simply a physical gesture. You may feel a sense of warmth or security, or perhaps even confusion, depending on the context. But what does it truly mean when a man gives you a hug? It's an act that, on the surface, might seem simple, yet it carries a wide array of meanings and emotions. Often it's not just about a touch, it's a message, a signal of care, affection, or sometimes a deeper connection. Now, I know hugs come in many forms, and not all of them carry the same weight, but one thing is certain: a hug from a man often transcends the physical and speaks directly to the heart. The next few minutes, I want to explore this idea with you. I want to dive into what it really means when a man wraps his arms around you, offering this seemingly universal gesture of comfort and connection. And to help us understand this, I've laid out a series of keynotes that break down the significance of such an act, one hug at a time. One of the first things you need to understand is that a hug from a man can often be an expression of trust. You see, trust isn't something that's easily given or freely exchanged. It takes time to build, and it's often rooted in the comfort we feel in one another's presence. When a man gives you a hug, it can be his way of saying, "I trust you." It's an invitation to share something unspoken, a connection that doesn't need words to be understood. To actually just reach out and concentrate on someone you search to know. And sometimes that trust runs deep, particularly in relationships where vulnerability is not easy to show. The act of hugging someone, especially for a man, can be a moment where he chooses to lower his defenses and open up in a way that words simply can't describe. This might be something subtle, perhaps not even immediately visible, but it's there. You might feel it in the way his arms pull you in with a certain level of comfort, or how the hug lingers a little longer than expected. These are signs of trust being shared, and when you think about it, trusting someone with that much personal space is not a small thing. A hug isn't just an exchange of warmth. It's a silent acknowledgement that you are safe in one another's presence. It's an invitation for you to let your guard down, a gesture that says, "I'm here and I trust you enough to let you see me as I am." Another critical aspect of a hug is the sense of protection it offers. When a man embraces you, it's not always about comfort. Sometimes it's about shielding you from the world. In many ways, a hug is a natural, instinctive response to a desire to protect. A man's arms around you can often be a statement of assurance, like a fortress built with the strength of his feelings. It's a safe space, if only for a moment, where he can guard you from anything that might harm or hurt you. Whether it's the stress of the world outside or something more personal, the hug serves as a shield. It's not that every hug from a man is filled with the intention of guarding you physically, but more emotionally. Protection is subtle. It's about ensuring that you feel safe, understood, and supported. In those moments, you might feel a sense of calmness settle over you. You can breathe a little easier, knowing that there's someone there who's looking out for you. This feeling of being protected may even resonate with you long after the hug ends, because it speaks to a kind of security that isn't easily found. It's in that moment that you know he's there, standing with you, shoulder to shoulder, no matter what the world throws your way. Sometimes words fail us. We don't know how to express our feelings, and we find ourselves caught between what we want to say and what we're able to say. And that's where a hug comes in. When a man embraces you, he may be conveying more than words could ever express. It's a language all its own, unspoken yet deeply understood. The comfort, the warmth, the closeness, It all says something that no amount of words could ever articulate as effectively. A hug is affection in its purest form, a silent declaration that, regardless of everything else, he cares for you deeply. In some ways, a hug can communicate everything that someone might feel about you in one simple gesture. Whether it's the gentle press of his body against yours, or the way his arms wrap around you with just the right amount of pressure, it's a manifestation of his emotions. It says, "I care about you," or "I'm here for you," without needing to say a single word. It's powerful, isn't it? The human touch can often speak louder than anything we might say out loud, and sometimes it's exactly what we need to feel seen, heard, and understood. Hugs are often used to reassure us in times of uncertainty. Life throws challenges our way, and sometimes we just need someone to hold us, to remind us that things are going to be okay. A hug from a man can offer that reassurance. It's as if in that brief moment, everything else fades away and you're left with the undeniable truth that you are not alone. When the world feels overwhelming, a hug can serve as a reminder that there is still kindness, still support, still someone who believes in you. It's like a small piece of hope wrapped up in a gesture of affection. There's a unique comfort in knowing that someone is offering you not just physical proximity, but emotional stability. And often, a man's hug is meant to give exactly that. The quiet strength of someone who stands beside you, ready to help carry the load. You might not even realize it in the moment, but that reassurance can help you face challenges you might otherwise have felt unprepared for. It's not just a hug, it's an emotional lifeline that can help steady you in moments of doubt or fear. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. When a man gives you a hug, it can be an expression of that empathy, an acknowledgement that he feels what you're going through. Whether you're dealing with personal struggles or just having a tough day, a hug can be a silent way of saying, "I understand you." It's a form of emotional support that doesn't require him to have all the answers or to solve your problems. Sometimes all you need is someone who's willing to simply be present with you in the moment, and that's what a hug can provide. An empathetic connection that says, "I see you and I'm with you." In this sense, a hug becomes a shared experience of vulnerability. He doesn't need to say much because his actions speak louder than words. The embrace can tell you that he's not only aware of your struggles, but that he's also there to walk with you through them. And sometimes that's all we need, to know that we don't have to go through life's challenges alone. Not all hugs are born from moments of sadness or comfort. Sometimes a hug is about celebration, a moment to share in joy, success, or accomplishment. When a man embraces you during a time of happiness, it's his way of acknowledging the shared joy and expressing his happiness for you. It's a recognition of a milestone, a victory, or simply the joy of being in each other's company. Here, in these moments, the hug becomes a celebration of the connection you share, as well as the moments you've experienced together. It's a recognition of the positive things in life, and a way to share those blessings with someone you care about. These celebratory hugs are often accompanied by laughter, excitement, and a sense of lightheartedness. They mark moments of triumph, whether big or small, and reinforce the bond that's been built. It's an opportunity to say, "We did it," or "I'm proud of you," in the most intimate way possible. And sometimes that's the most beautiful part of a hug. It can turn an ordinary moment into something extraordinary, a celebration of shared happiness. At its deepest level, a hug can be an expression of a connection that goes beyond the physical realm. It can represent the joining of two souls, brought together by shared experiences, emotions, or understandings. When a man gives you a hug, it may not just be his body touching yours. It might be his heart, his spirit, his essence, reaching out to connect with yours. It's a moment where time slows down and everything else fades into the background. In that embrace, there is no past, no future, just the present and the undeniable connection that exists between you two. This connection is often felt in those rare, transformative moments where a hug doesn't just feel comforting, but transcendent. It's a feeling of being fully seen and understood, a recognition that two people can connect on a level that's not always visible to the eye. It's a reminder that beneath the surface, we all share a humanity that binds us together in ways words cannot capture. And sometimes that's exactly what a hug can do. It can transcend the ordinary and become a profound reminder of the connections we share with others. One of the most profound things a hug can offer is the potential for healing. Life can be hard and we all carry burdens, some of which are visible and others that remain hidden deep within. When a man embraces you, it can act as a balm to those emotional wounds, providing comfort and space for healing. It's not that the hug immediately solves everything, but in that brief moment, it can make you feel like things are going to be okay. A hug can be a gentle reminder that despite the hardships you may be facing, there's tenderness in the world and people who care enough to stand with you as you work through your pain. In these moments, the hug is an emotional release, allowing you to be vulnerable, to acknowledge your struggles, and slowly begin to heal. Healing often takes time, but the emotional release that comes from a hug can help create a safe space for that process. Sometimes we don't even realize how much we need this type of support until it's given to us. A man offering his embrace is like giving you permission to take a break from the weight you've been carrying, to pause and breathe, and to feel the comfort of someone else's presence. There's something deeply reassuring about being physically close to someone when you are wounded, as if their embrace can help you find the strength to keep moving forward. Furthermore, a hug can also help with the healing process by reaffirming the belief that you are not alone. The human connection that takes place in a hug can be deeply reassuring, reminding you that there is someone who understands your pain and is there to support you, even when the road to recovery feels long. When the world feels cold or uncaring, a hug has the unique ability to remind you that you are valued, that your pain is seen, and that healing is not only possible, but already in progress, just by having that moment of connection. Hugs are often used to show gratitude, a non-verbal way of saying thank you that transcends the limitations of words. When a man embraces you, it could be a gesture of appreciation for something you've done, for your support, simply being there in his life. A hug in this context is a way of expressing gratitude without needing to explain the reasons behind it. It's as if the hug itself holds the weight of everything he feels thankful for. You might have helped him through a difficult time, shared a moment of joy, or simply provided him with a sense of peace. Whatever the cause, the act of hugging becomes an embodiment of thanks, a direct, unspoken acknowledgement of the positive impact you've had on his life. In these moments, the hug serves as a reminder that our relationships, no matter how big or small, are built on mutual respect and appreciation. A man giving you a hug as an act of gratitude is his way of showing that he recognizes the value you bring to his life. There's an honesty in this kind of embrace, as it's a gesture that doesn't require grand declarations or elaborate explanations. It's simply the act of acknowledging your worth and expressing his heartfelt thanks through the simplicity of a hug. In this way, a hug becomes a powerful tool for deepening the connection between two people, reinforcing the appreciation that exists between them. Hugs aren't always about closeness and comfort. Sometimes they carry with them the weight of an unspoken goodbye. Whether it's the end of a chapter, a farewell before a long separation, or a parting between two people who know their paths are diverging, a hug can often be the only way to say goodbye when words feel insufficient. It can be a way of expressing the sadness, the loss, and the finality of parting without needing to say anything. The embrace becomes a silent acknowledgement of the emotional complexity of the moment. In situations like this, the hug often lingers a little longer, perhaps filled with a sense of finality. There's a quiet tenderness in these goodbyes, an unspoken understanding that something is coming to an end. While partings are often filled with heavy emotions, a hug can act as a bridge between the two people, allowing them to share that last moment of connection before they go their separate ways. In this context, a hug serves as both a comfort and a closure, providing a peaceful, intimate moment where the weight of departure is shared. Even when the words are hard to find, the embrace can say everything. It can express regret, hope for the future, and a recognition of everything that's been. It becomes a way to honor what was and acknowledge that sometimes parting is simply a part of life's journey. A man giving you a hug in such a situation may not have the right words, but in that embrace, you'll feel the sincerity of his feelings. It's a quiet, powerful act of closure and understanding, marking the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. As we continue to explore the nature of human connections, it becomes clear that a hug is far more than just a physical gesture. It is an intricate expression of emotions, trust, protection, empathy, gratitude, and more that transcends the limitations of words. A hug from a man can carry profound meaning, whether it's a sign of comfort, affection, or celebration. It's a language of the heart, one that allows us to express emotions that might otherwise remain hidden. In these moments, we come to understand that the act of hugging is not simply about the physical closeness, but about the connection we share with another person. It's a moment where vulnerability meets strength, where the complexities of life are momentarily put on hold, and where we can find solace, joy, and understanding in the presence of another. Whether offering protection, showing empathy, celebrating achievements, or bidding farewell, a hug has the remarkable ability to bridge the gap between individuals and provide comfort in ways that words cannot. And so I encourage you, the next time you find yourself embraced by a man, whether it's a warm, lingering hug or a quick, supportive squeeze, take a moment to appreciate the depth of that gesture. Understand that in that fleeting moment, there is a world of meaning, one that transcends the physical and speaks to the very essence of what it means to be human. It's a reminder that no matter where we go or what we face, we are never truly alone in this world. We are all bound together by this simple, beautiful act of connection.